it's Red here. As you can tell, I'm in the honey house today. We just finished processing our honey on Saturday, 2 days ago. And today I want to give a product review and my comments on the new honey wax separator that I got from Mann Lake. I'm going to actually be using it again still this morning because I'm going to be processing some wax through it. So I'll give you a shot of that. But we've already used it, and for what I had hoped to get out of this product, this machine, it works very well for our operation right here. So I'm going to grab the camera, show you a little bit of close-ups of some of the stuff that we're doing. It's full of wax right now. I'm going to clean it out, and we're going to again load it up with more wax and spin that out, and I'll show you what that's all about. And I already know God's blessed us with this one, so it's a good thing. So let's wrangle and show you what we got going with our Mann Lake honey wax separator. I get started on the cleanup. I want to show you a little bit, show you the product and basically what it entails. And as you can see, there's a bunch, I call them ninja knives, down in the bottom of it. And then there's a drum, there's wax covering it right now, so you really can't see it. But it's a perforated drum. There you go. You can see some of the perforations in that part right there. So the drum is perforated, and the idea is you dump your honey and wax into the drum as it's spinning, and the knives throw the wax out towards the drum. Of course, centrifugal force does that as well. And as that wax builds up on the drum itself, the honey then passes through and then goes through the perforations of the side of the drum and then into the bottom of the vat, and then it comes out of the gate right there. It's a big 2-inch gate, really nice stainless steel gate right there. Now this machine came with a uncapper right here, but I removed that as it's going to be right in my way of when I have to dump the drums into here to get the wax out. And also, I'm going to use my uncapping machine as opposed to a handheld one. So that was the first thing I took off, was that thing. Then as you come around to the control side, there's only 2 controls. One to this control right here is the speed for the drum that it turns. This is your on and off switch, and then this light indicates whether the power is on. And then on this side is a thermostat for your uncapping knife, and then it turns it on and off, and then the knife to indicate, this light right here would indicate that it's on. But since it's gone, this will never be used. This part will never be used. And what happened was it would attach into this socket right here. The knife would attach, and that's where it was hooked up right there. So the machine is a very basic, simple machine, like a wash machine. It's just a drum that rotates inside of a fixed container, spitting out the honey and the wax, and the honey passing through the wax into the drum, and then collecting out on the outside into another container. One other thing I want to mention was the drive on this machine. And Mann Lake did a great job of safety aspect on this machine. They put a really good plate to guard against the exposure of the belt right here. They put a really nice heavy-duty motor as well as a mounting plate for that motor. And then it's all closed in that really nice enclosure right here, so that there's no way that you're going to accidentally get something in there like your foot. Very good design, as well as also you can see how they have everything is sitting on a platform. Their design on this is so much better than the other machines that I looked at. I looked at a few other machines before deciding on this one. What I found in our processing of our honey, I was looking for a way to make the process from the uncapper and the extractor to the honey coming out of the extractor to be a very fast-paced motion. We had tried a clarifying tank last year, and it was just like putting on the brakes on the whole operation. You have to wait for the wax to rise up to the top and then flow through and then pump out. It's just way too slow for my likings. So I needed to come up with a way of moving the honey with all the wax in it in a very expedient and fast way. So the idea of a honey wax separator is in my opinion, was the way to go, to get a machine that I could then just dump honey and wax, the mixture of it, into something and separate it out, and that way bypass that whole process of allowing the honey to rest and the wax to rise and move on. So this for me was the right fix. So I started looking at separators, and the only ones I really looked at was the Max Ants and the Mann Lake ones. And the Max Ant, they put out two types, a junior and a senior uncapper, and Max Ant and Mann Lake, they may put out a smaller version of this, but I wasn't interested in a smaller version because when I read the reviews on the smaller versions, there were issues of overloading the machine, and so I just said, well, we're trying to run 200 hives, and I want to make sure that I have a machine large enough to handle that load. So I was either going to get the large Max Ant or the large Mann Lake, and I decided on the Mann Lake for really a couple of reasons. I preferred the construction of the Mann Lake when it's all stainless steel. The legs are stainless. There is some aluminum framing in it, but the parts, anything that's got to do with honey, it's all stainless. Also, with this machine, it is a little bit larger capacity, but they both perform the same function. It's the same function. So I think this machine, when I bought it, was right around $5,400, and the Max Ant machine was, I think, about $4,500, I think. But for the extra cost of this one, I got a larger capacity, as well as, in my opinion, I thought a better construction, a little bit safer as far as how that belt is attached, the motor, the drive. I just preferred this one, so I figured that the extra few $100s that it would cost to purchase this one, in the long run, for me, it would be a better idea. So that's about all the product information. So now, which is really the part that anybody can look that stuff up. The product information you can look up, but when it comes down to using a machine, that's when the rubber hits the road. And this one, I used it already. I've cleaned it out, and this thing really does. It's easy to do it, and I'm very satisfied with that. So that'll be the next thing I show you, is how I take the lid off and start remove the knives and then start undoing the cappings, and then we're going to put everything back together and then spin some of the more wax that we've got in our drums. So I said a lot of good things about the uncapper. The first thing I found out that this doesn't make a lot of sense is the positioning of the wing nut bolts that hold this lid on. They fit, all three of the bolts fit, they align with the pins in them, but if you rotate it any bit, the pins don't line up. So because I had to place the lid in this position, the pins didn't line up, well, two of them did. So that was the first thing that I said, well, that doesn't make much sense. I guess the guy that picked the points, he didn't do his math that day or something, because you should be able to get these screw points so that regardless of the position of the lid, that your wing nut should fit on all of them. But only two of them fit, the other one doesn't come off. So we're going to lift the lid out. I'm going to just set it on the side over here. Now that we've got our lid off, we can now go ahead and start unbolting our Ninja knives. And anytime you work on any kind of machine and you got your hands around stuff that's moving, make sure that your power to the machine is turned off, not just at the switch, but at the circuit box, which ours is. Now that all our bolts are out, we can go ahead and remove our Ninja blade, being very, very, very careful because these blades are sharp. Now that our Ninja knives are taken out, you can see now the 4 other bolts that secure the drum onto the plate underneath this, which the drum is bolted to. All 8 of those bolts are onto that plate, and that's what secures the drum to the turning mechanism. And by doing that, this whole drum is mounted on that turning plate and underneath this drum, and it's very, very secure. So now we're able to, without fear of being cut to pieces by those knives in here, we're able to now go ahead and start cutting out this wax to take it out of here without fear of being cut. For our purposes, that's good enough because we're just going to add some more honey and wax to this. So our drum is cleaned out, we're ready to put our Ninja knives back in it. And this is the second time I've cleaned it out, and both times I got a full 5-gallon bucket of wax. And I've got that stuff packed in there pretty tight. And it's pretty heavy. These are both pretty heavy. So it's time to go ahead and put our knives back in and our lid back on and start the process up again. And this is the wax that I want to now process. All of our drums, because we just dump from our extractor into our drums, all the wax just comes up to the top. And I want to make sure I get this wax, the majority of this wax. I'll never get it all out of here. But I want to get the majority of this wax out of here because I do not want to have any chance of beetle maggots hatching out into this stuff. So I take out the majority of this wax and we're going to run it through that honey wax separator and clean this stuff up. So now I'm ready to start shoveling some of this wax into our spinner. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the spinner. And all this has to filter out, just like in the big drums. Now here's what our drums look like after I skimmed all that wax off of them. There's still the light foam on top of it. It's really not foam, it's wax. So this is really almost as far as I have to go as far as filtering. And I do like the fact that we don't heat or filter our honey. It's as close to eating honeycomb without the wax as you can get. So before I wrap this video up, show you what I spun out from those drums. That is a serious amount of wax. Serious amount of wax. Man, this separator did the job that everything I wanted it to do. So I am very pleased with it. Alright, let's wrap this video up. The wax separator worked ideally for what I want in our operation right here. I know it's not a product for most people, but for those of you that are searching for something like this, I would say that this would be one machine that you would want to consider. So that's all I have for you in this video. Thanks for watching. Keep on watching, and I'll be making more. God bless. Mr. Ed, I'm out of here until the next video. Alright, so I got one other thing I want to show you. So, y'all stand right over here. So, do you have an idea what an observation hive is? Observation. An observation hive? What do you think? The what? So what does observe mean? To look. Right. So, this is an observation hive. So we have a piece of plexiglass. I'm still working on getting the bees in here. But this is a very unique bee observation hive. Because when you open it, you ain't gonna believe this. Oh, come on, that's it? That's it? So that's what's gonna be on YouTube, is that?
So what do you think is in there?
Yes, what do you think's in there?
The things that...
No. Why would that be in there?
Because it looks like the box.
It does?
It looks like...
Right.
Okay,
So
so ready?
Open it up and find out.
Come on.
You can't open that? Push down. Push down on the lid. Now open it. Now. Okay.
Wow, those are big.